I, 27 female, and my boyfriend, 32 male, recently moved in together after dating for 8 months. I know that seems early, but given rent and our schedules, it made sense. He owns the house which he inherited from his father, who passed away last year. The house has all of his dad's old furniture, art and knickknacks, and while they're not horrible in quality, they're not really my style. The plaid wallpaper is a bit overwhelming, but my real issue is that there is a shocking number of ducks. Bird sculptures, a coat rack with birds carved in them, bird paintings, etc. Honestly, it's a lot of birds, and I really want to make this our home, but it feels like I'm living in his dead dad's bird mind palace. We've spoken about getting new furniture and redecorating the house, but every time I so much as mention the birds, he completely shuts down. I understand he might have sentimental value here. Still, he's never told me about his dad's bird obsession before, and I really am struggling to understand why these birds are so important. I'm willing to keep a few select birds for sentimentality's sake, but the sheer number of birds currently is just ridiculous. Last week I removed one of the less conspicuous birds and hid it in the basement to see if he would notice or care. He didn't say anything, so the next day I took another. I've now hidden 7 birds, and yesterday he finally confronted me about it. I came clean but said that if it took him so long to notice, then why does it matter so much if we keep them all? He started yelling about how heartless I was and how I was debasing his dad's memory. So I could understand better, I asked him straight up, what is so special about the birds? And he said, if you can't get that now, you never will. We haven't spoken since last night. I don't want the birds to get in the way of our relationship, but I really don't want them in my home. I think I'm the idiot for hiding the birds instead of talking to him about it. I also think maybe I forgot something about his dad, which makes me an even bigger idiot. Am I the idiot for hiding my boyfriend's bird heirlooms? You are the idiot. It's his house, and if he wants to have ducks everywhere because it reminds him of his dad, then it's his house, so leave them alone. If he kicks you out, he's right to. But on the other hand, if you want a future with him, you need to sit him down and not be underhanded and sneaky. Apologise and say you were wrong, because sis you were, and just say, explain to me about the birds. Listen respectfully, and if it's a deal breaker for you, find somewhere else to live, because this is important to him. I'd be wary if I were him. Dating for only 8 months, he just alleviated her from paying rent, and she's already trying to mess with his stuff. They haven't even been dating for a year, and they've only recently moved in together. She's comfortable enough to start hiding items that she knows are important to him. I have food that I bought before their relationship started that hasn't hit its best before date yet, and she's boxing up his sentimental items so she can redecorate. This isn't even a red flag. It's a full-on stop sign. Not only that, count how many times OP says, my home, and how often she says, our home. The entitlement is wild in this one. Also, he's 32 and his dad died last year. He's still very much in the grieving process. Processing your parents' death and letting go of their things is a long-term process, but you never get over it, and if you can, you will likely never let go of everything. You keep the objects that make you feel connected to them. Girl, your lack of empathy is troubling. Hiding those birds was childish and insulting. I'm going to assume that this will be an unpopular opinion, but I don't really think she's the idiot. I know he inherited the house and I know it's his, but I believe you feel like a guest in what's essentially a shrine for his father and his birds, and you don't feel comfortable there. Move out while you can. If he's that hung up on keeping the house the way his dad left it, it's never changing. Also, when he dumps you, you won't get anything for the money and effort you put into making the house livable. My sister, 42 female, and her husband, 44 male, struggled with secondary infertility after the birth of their first son, Cian, pre-tween. My sister wanted a second right away and had the thought she'd have them about a year apart, but that didn't happen, and it didn't happen the next year either or the year after that. They still focused on Cian, but they had a desperation to have another child that sometimes made it seem like Cian would potentially be shoved aside if another baby did come along. Cian was a great baby and toddler. They had it so easy with him. They even said it was good because it gave them more chances to plan for another baby and try to make their family grow. Nothing changed when he started school either. Still a really great kid. As an only child at the time, he did get the time and attention that he loved. And then my sister got pregnant with her second son, Ryan, an infant. Pretty much overnight, Cian was brushed aside so they could celebrate having another baby and having their dream come true. They no longer spent the same time with Cian, and they talked about having another child in almost every conversation. Ask about Cian and they'd answer, but quickly move to the topic of the new child. Then Ryan was born and it became 100% about him. Sian was definitely forgotten by my sister and her husband. Family members mentioned they should be careful that Sian doesn't feel left out, and some noted that they appeared to have stopped all attention to Sian and that it wasn't healthy. It reached the point that neither knew what Sian was doing, where he was when asked, could say how he was doing in school, and they didn't even notice he was sick. Sian called my dad and he went to my sister and brother-in-law's house and told them, and then they had my dad take Sian to see a doctor because they wanted to stay with Ryan. There was another incident where they had promised to show up for an award he was getting at school, but neither went. They also didn't tell the family so someone could show up for him. Sian's behaviour changed drastically in the last 6 months. He's angry and acting out a lot. The latest incident had him break all of Ryan's toys and tear up all the photos of Ryan, including scanned photos from the pregnancy. He also tore up the baby book my sister studied for Ryan. Apparently he was screaming about how much he hates Ryan. My sister is now talking about Sian like he's evil. She's called him a demon child and a devil child repeatedly and complains to everyone about him. When she said it to me and said he was the worst kid she ever knew and why he had to be that way, I asked why she was asking that and not why she and her husband were such bad parents to him. I said kids don't change their behaviour that badly for no reason, and they've been told before they've ignored him too much since she got pregnant with Ryan. My sister said I have no idea what she's been through and how dare I judge her. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You can give them crap about it every single time you see them. Point out what horrible parents they're being to just their one son. Call them out on it repeatedly. Make them ashamed. Being polite and gently broaching the subject clearly does not work. Escalate your response. All of you are being way too passive. They are being disgusting. Yeah, OP, will you wait for Sian to hurt Ryan? And will you wait for Sian to harm himself before anyone steps in and actually does something? This is Sian crying for help. This is his way of showing his parents and the adults who are supposed to care about him that he's not getting his emotional and physical needs met. Yes, he's fed. Yes, he's okay. But who hugs him when he needs it? Says, I love you to him. Tells him and shows him he still matters and is loved. He needs someone to put him first. He needs someone to show him he's important too. Well, if he's the demon child, she's the demon. I don't know what your circumstances are, but this kid would be 100% better off with you than being neglected or taken by CPS. That poor kid was abandoned. I hate your sister so much. Spend time with your nephew when you can so he'll know he's still loved. Last month, my sister, 21 female, and I, 22 male, did the awkward sibling photo shoot in JCPenney, as it was going viral on TikTok and we thought it was hilarious. We showed the portraits to our mom, who thought they were hilarious too. Now the issue is my stepsister, 21, wants to do this photo shoot too, and only with me and not my sister. I've known her for a few years since my mom remarried. While I'm sort of amicable with her, I don't really like that she's standoffish with my sister. My stepsister does have occasional bouts of depression, and she's on meds for it. When my stepsister saw the portraits, she asked why I couldn't do those photos with her. The issue is I'm not really comfortable doing these poses with her. My sister and I are pretty close and there's no awkwardness there, but I wouldn't really be comfortable carrying my stepsister or putting my face really close to her. But I was even willing to do this photo shoot provided my sister was in the photo shoot too. That way it could have a wholesome siblings photo shoot. However, my stepsister doesn't like my sister and she only wants to do the photo shoot with me. My mom is forcing me to do the photo shoot with my stepsister because she wants me to think about family and my stepsister's mental health. She said that my stepsister has cried daily because I'm not doing this photo shoot with her. I then snapped and told my mom my stepsister is not my real family and I'm not comfortable with it. My mom got angry when I said that. Am I the idiot? I'm sorry, but not the idiot. A 21-year-old grown adult is crying daily about not taking a photo shoot the way she wants. It sounds like she needs therapy. Most importantly, it's concerning how childish and dramatic she's being and how she's dragging others into this and being so dramatic and pathetic because she isn't getting what she wants. Facts: if someone's crying daily over a JCPenney photo shoot, therapy's calling. It's wild that OP's mom is enabling this too, like boundaries exist for a reason. Brother, you're 22, you're absolutely allowed to make your own decisions and stand with them firmly. Whether your mom disagrees, you do not have to do the photo shoot. Your stepsister is being a real pain about it, and your mom is enabling her. This is not your circus, not your monkeys. Exactly, and a 22-year-old grown adult is saying his mommy is going to make him do the photo shoot with the other crybaby that clearly has a crush on him. Stepsister has a crush on you, dude. Your mom's an enabler. I, 22 female, got an iPhone 15 around 2 months ago. I was clumsy and fell when hiking, which resulted in my phone falling. It shattered my screen because of a rock I'd landed on. Money hasn't exactly been coming in the best as of late, so I haven't been able to get it repaired. My boyfriend got me a new phone, iPhone 11, and all was well. That was until my birthday, when I'd been talking about getting my iPhone 15 fixed. I'd planned to give the iPhone 11 to my sister. I told my parents about the plan and they were completely on board. I'd like to add that my parents have always favoured my sister. Anything good I had, my parents would always force me to give it to her if she liked it. I've always accepted it because I never really cared about the stuff too much. If you knew the price of an iPhone 15, you'd know it wasn't cheap. My parents thought that as a gift, they would fix my iPhone 15 and give it to my sister. That was not what I planned. As I mentioned before, I planned to give her the iPhone 11. My family has since started guilting me because my sister wants an iPhone 15 and they promised her mine. My sister has cancer, so do I just give it to her and suck it up because she's sick? I don't know what to do because no matter the explanations, they won't take no for an answer. So, am I the idiot for denying my sister a gift she truly wants when she has cancer? Seriously? Using cancer as an excuse now? It's your phone, not theirs. They don't get to make plans for it. If they currently have it in their possession, demand they return it. If they don't currently have it, make sure you put it somewhere they can't get their hands on, because with this attitude, I expect they would not be above stealing it. And to be very clear, you are a legal adult. If they didn't buy it, taking it without your consent is stealing and is a crime. Not the idiot. Separate issues into smaller bits. People like your parents like to pile everything up so it feels like a big complex thing. It's not. Your sister being ill and getting a specific model iPhone are unrelated. Dear parents, you want to promise my sister an iPhone? What a wonderful gift. You just cannot promise her my iPhone because it's not yours to give. Here's the route to the Apple Store if you want to give her an iPhone 15. But the key word is an iPhone. If you want to give her my iPhone, that's between me and her. If you promised her an i15, that is your promise and your problem. Don't look at me to keep your promises. You'll get a lot of pushback on this attitude because you would be right and it means you're resisting being the free ATM that they draw cash and iPhones from at no cost. They won't like it. Guilt tripping will be their tactic. Update: I paid for the iPhone 15 myself. My family has taken from me many times, including my dog, my iPad, my Xbox and many phones. All of these they paid for, so I never cared too much. My sister's cancer type is a very early stage, but they use it as a reason for anything and it soon will be completely removed. On to the actual update. I woke up this morning to over 100 missed calls from family close and distant. The messages range from shaming me to insulting me to threatening me. My parents told my family lies that made me seem like I'd promised her the iPhone 15, which I did not. I'm not sure how to respond, but I think I'm going to take time to think and get back to them when I feel ready. I've taken the advice of some users and decided to go low contact. I've opened my eyes and noticed I've always been a massive pushover. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't sad to not talk to them often, as my parents are sometimes decent parents. I've laid out the pros and cons of talking to them, and the cons heavily outweigh the pros. Thank you everyone so much for all the advice and for making me realise I need to have a backbone. I, 27, have deadly allergies to chocolate and seafood. Every time my family comes up, they stay with me, my child, kindergartner, and my fiancée, 36. The past few times they stayed with us, my stepmother, 43, had been pushing with needing chocolate in my house in various containers that are easily spillable. I've asked her to leave the chocolate in the car and not bring it into the house. 2 months ago, when she visited with the rest of the family, she went chocolate buying crazy and made sure it was everywhere in my house with open containers. I talked to her and said I no longer feel comfortable with her staying if she wasn't going to respect my allergies in my own house. She called me yesterday and said she would be in the area at the end of the month and would like to stay at my house for a night before heading back home. I told her I didn't have an issue with it, but if she had chocolate with her, then it had to stay in the car. If she can't do that, then she has to find another place to stay, especially since it's not just me who's allergic, but my child as well. She immediately blew up at me and started calling me a variety of curse words. Am I the idiot if I stand my ground and not let her stay with us? Not the idiot. It's a simple request, and as someone who loves chocolate myself, I'll say if someone asked me to not bring it into their home due to allergies, I'd be more than happy to do so. I'd rather be without it for one day or even a few than accidentally kill someone. That's what baffles me too. I'm a chocoholic, but even I respect other people's allergies. I won't die without chocolate. For Opie's stepmom to press on the issue either means she has serious issues, controlling tendencies, addiction, etc., or she wants to harm OP. She immediately blew up at me and started calling me a variety of curse words. She immediately blew up at me and started calling me a variety of curse words. Do you know what a normal reaction is to being asked to abide by some very easy and reasonable boundaries? Why, yes, of course, I wouldn't want to hurt you or the little one, but instead she went into a tirade. Makes you think she was going to do it for the sole purpose of harming you. Not the idiot, and don't let crazy into the home.